Hey guys, this is Miss Bean bringing you your lesson on inequalities. Remember, make sure you complete your warm-up. Answer these two questions. When you have completed it, make sure that you glue them into your notebook and cut it. Here are the notes that you have. Please make sure that you fill in the notes with the correct information. The very first one says x is greater than 2. You would have an open circle at 2. Draw the arrow to the right when the variable is on the left. Please make sure that you fill this into your notes. When x is less than 2, you would have an open circle and you're going to draw the arrow to the left, just like this example here, meaning that all answers less than 2 would make that statement true. X is greater than or equal to 2 means that you're going to have a closed circle. You're also going to draw the arrow to the right when the variable is on the left. When x is less than or equal to 2, you would have a closed circle. Draw the arrow to the left when the variable is on the left. Make sure you take a look at each of the examples in the graphs, and then of course how to read the graph. Next you will see that I completed 4 of the problems for you that are in your notes. The first one, when dealing with inequalities, you solve them just like two-step equations. So you'll notice in the very first one, 3x minus 10 is less than 20. I added 10 to both sides, which left me with 3x is less than 30. Then divide by the 3, and we get x is less than 30. Now this is just like what you were doing with two-step equations. The only difference is instead of saying x equals 10, we now say x is less than 10. And there's also a graph that goes with it. Since x is less than 10, we have an open circle at 10, and all the answers less than 10 will make that a true statement. Let's look at our next example. Solved it the same way. Minus 1, minus 1. We are left with 3x is greater than or equal to 27. Divide by 3, and I get x is greater than or equal to 9. Now you'll notice in this example that the x is on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side. So I have to read it backwards. I have to read from the x to the 9. So x is greater than 9. You will notice in my graph there is a closed circle because it's equal to, and all the numbers greater than 9 are shaded in on the graph. Our next example down here at the bottom, we have minus 3 on both sides, solving it just like a two-step equation. We're left with x divided by 5 is less than or equal to 60. Multiply by 5 on both sides of the problem, and we find out that x is less than 300. Now you'll notice up here on my graph, I marked off where 300 should be. Because it is less than, I have an open circle at the 300, and all the numbers less than 300 are solved. And the very last one, add 2 to both sides. X is less than or equal to 11. Multiply by 8 on both sides, and you get x is less than or equal to 88. You'll notice I also graph that with a closed circle because it can equal 88, and everything to the left. Again, x is on the right-hand side, so we have to read that one backwards. Last thing, remember when you have a negative sign with the x, the inequality sign is going to flip, such as in this example. Negative 2x is less than 10. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. When I do that, you will notice that my inequality sign went from less than to greater than. So x is greater than or equal to negative 5. On my number line, I make an open circle at negative 5, and I draw to the right, going in the same direction as the inequality sign. I hope this helps you get started for today, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.